Hey, everybody. Welcome to 2023, even though at the time of this recording, it is December 29th. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. If you want to see my ugly face, then you can do so now on YouTube, or you can listen to our podcast on Spotify or iHeartRadio. However, you want to listen to the podcast, you can do so as well. I just want to change things up a little bit in 2023 and give you some different advice, hopefully bring in some interviews and really change the direction and make this more interactive for all of you. That's my goal for 2023. So I just wanted to start off the year by going over a wedding songs checklist. Like I said, if you're looking on Spotify, I'm going to share my screen real quick of a wedding songs checklist that I offer on the website that you can download for free. And for this checklist, we go over the ceremony music that you can pick out, the reception, some of the formal dances, and then the overall feel of the music as well. So this is really what I'm going to talk about today, is what songs you should be playing for your wedding day. If you haven't figured any of that out, you've come to the right place. So I'm going to start off with the ceremony, and that is the prelude music. Now, that's an industry jargon term that really means the music that's played as guests come in and they are being seated. So you want to have this as really setting the mood for the day. A lot of couples choose instrumental music like Vitamin String Quartet, the Piano Guys. So that type of music, the instrumental music, is very common that's played for the prelude. Next up is the inclusive terms is the marrier's processional. This is also the groom's processional. And a lot of grooms don't have their own song as they go down the aisle, but they most certainly can. You could go down to the Star Wars theme or the James Bond theme, or something that really hits or has a feel that really means something to the groom. So that's a song that you could play, but make sure that you're really talking it over with the officiant and with the venue. A lot of churches may limit the songs that you have during the wedding ceremony, so make sure you talk it over with them and the celebrant and what music that would be acceptable for that location. Next up is the processionals for the wedding party. That could be the flower girl, the ring bearers, the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, whatever songs you want to play for those processionals. And you can have all of these as one song, but I can tell you the next one, that is the marrier's entrance song or the bride's entrance song. This is typically, the bridal march. They typically walk down to their own song, but this is where you can really bring in your personality as well. You can have a special song. So let's say you're a big Disney fan, then you could have What Dreams Are Made Of is very popular by Brent Morgan, or you could have the ukulele version of a Disney song as well. Like I said, you could have the Vitamin String Quartet, the Piano Guys, really make this to your personality and the songs that you like. A lot of people play the instrumental song from the Twilight series. So, just bring in your personality to that, to those song choices. Next up, a lot of couples choose a unity ceremony song. So this could be the tying of the knots, the unity candle lighting. It could be whatever you're signifying to becoming one. It could even be a black and tan beer, so whatever you're going to have as the unity of two families becoming one, you could have a special song for that. And then also maybe you want to have songs for the communions, the reading, the communion, the readings, whatever other moments you want to have. You don't have to have all of these set to music. That's up to you. But, typically the average wedding is only, 15, 20 minutes, unless you're going to have a full on uh, um, religious ceremony could be up to an hour. So, just pick out that music, make sure you're talking to the people that are in charge of the music, whether that's the DJ, maybe it's the pianist at the church. Make sure that you're talking it over with them and making the right selections that fit your personality. And the last song I want to talk about the ceremony is the recessional song, another jargon term. So the recessional is your exit song as you're walking back out after the wedding is over. So these are just great terms that you can these are just great songs that you can select for your wedding ceremony. The exit song could be fun and upbeat, or it could be romantic. Just make sure that it's something that's long enough that you can have as all of your guests are leaving as well. So it might be multiple songs. It could be celebration. It could be, whatever song you want to have to signify, hey, now we're married. Next up, let's talk about the reception songs. So we call this the doors open, or the cocktail hour music. This is the music as guests are arriving at the reception. You could have this as dancing time. One of the things that I'm going to really have you thinking about is, back in the 90s when I was playing, and a lot of DJs still do this, is they're playing the John Coltrane, they're playing Dave Koz, just the really popular romantic Miles Davis feel that you could have as guests arrive. It has that classy feel to it, but you want to make sure that you're portraying fun as well. You don't want to have a lot of bored guests of, wow, I don't know any of this music. That's really what you want to try to get away from. Try to have a fun feel. That's the one recommendation I have for the background music. So next up, after the cocktail hour or the doors open, is your arrival. That's the wedding couple. It could be the introductions of any of the wedding party as well. That's your fun, your upbeat, or it could be romantic as well. And then after your introductions, typically you go right into the first dance, but I'm going to get to the dances a little bit later. But for the reception, I want to talk about dinner music. This is commonly sing-along songs. The DJ or the band is really getting an idea of what type of music you and your guests like. Now, I know you're giving them a guideline of what you want played, but maybe they aren't tapping their toes. They're not singing along. Maybe they're not liking the rock music or the country music. This is really when the DJ can get an idea of what type of music that your guests and you are singing along to and really vibing to. And you can really tell from the really good DJs that are looking out and they're seeing how you and your guests are reacting to the music. You can also, next up after the dinner is the cake cutting. So you can have a cake cutting song, could be, depending on the type of vibe that you want. A lot of people choose Cake by the Ocean or Sugar by Maroon 5, Cake by Flo Rida. So, there's a lot of songs that you can choose from that really fit that vibe. Could even be Sweet Home Alabama, a lot of sweet versions of songs. So like How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You is another popular cake cutting song. Next up, a lot of couples are choosing to do the bouquet toss and the garter toss. But if you're going to do the garter toss, you have to think about if you're going to do the removal, the toss, and the placement. That really depends on who wins the garter toss and the bouquet toss. So pick out songs for those as well, if those are events that you want to have at your reception. Next up is your party and dancing songs. What type of music are you and your friends and your family going to dance to? And a lot of that can be figured out during the cocktail hour and during dinner, because you'll figure out what songs people are really vibing to. And also slow dance songs. This is a little bit controversial. You want to have a party vibe, but one of the things I want to mention is, what about Uncle Matt here wants to dance with his nephew, or not with his nephew, with his niece, and you want to have a song picked out for that. So that way you can create that special moment. Or maybe grandma wants to dance with her grandson, or grandpa wants to dance with his granddaughter. You know, the only way those special moments are created are through a slow dance. So next up, I'm going to talk about formal dances. So the first dance, nobody should ever pick out your first dance song except for you. This is a very special moment. This is your first dance as a married couple. So pick out a song that's very special to you. You know, if you're having trouble, we have a list of 100 songs on our website of popular and unique first dance songs. Next up is parent-child dances. This is the father-daughter, mother-son dances. You know, it could even be your stepfather and stepdaughter dance. It could be your mother-daughter dance, just depending on the scenario of who's passed. Maybe they're not attending. You know, these are your parent-child, or even maybe it could even be your sister-brother dance. So, you know, these are just your popular family dances that you want to have set aside, and a special song set aside for those dances. Next up, if you want to have a wedding party dance, these are songs that are really going to get the party started, get people on the dance floor, people really dancing. Talking about getting people on the dance floor, what about the longest married or the anniversary dance? This is when you get all of the wedding couples out on the dance floor. You're going to eliminate them by newly married to try to figure out who's the longest married at your wedding. Then you can give them a gift and then invite everybody out back on the dance floor for a special dance. And then it could be dedicated to that longest married couple. Next up is the money dance. A lot of people choose not to have this, but a lot of people do it. So if you're going to do it, make sure you pick out a song for it, also known as the money dance, the dollar dance, and the honeymoon dance. Next up, the last dance of the night. So if you want to have a send-off, you want to have a romantic moment with everybody surrounding you on the dance floor. It could be a slower song. You know, I've had The Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes is a very popular song that's chosen. You know, Closing Time by Semisonic. How are you going to end the night? And one of the things that's really trending also is the private last dance. So you get everybody out of the reception hall, you're getting them ready with the bubbles or the sparklers, however you're going to have your send off outside. And then you just have a private last dance with just you, the musician, and the photographer. And it just really gives you you can sit there, but dance with your partner and just kind of recap your wedding day. It's a very special moment. So, man, those are special moments during your wedding that you can set to music. And overall, I just want to cover 4 moments as well. And that is a desired atmosphere and a mood. What type of reception do you want to have? Do you want to have romance? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to have uplighting that can really accent it? You know, what type of mood do you want to set for your reception? Do you want to have it classy? Maybe the jazz, the Frank Sinatra. Do you want to have it fun? You know, there's a lot of EDM fun songs that you could play as background music. You know, the sing-along songs, the Sweet Caroline, you know, whatever songs you want to have, the Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, you know, it'll really give you an idea of how your guests are vibing, but also setting the overall mood and atmosphere of your wedding day. So that's something to consider. Not only that, the song dedications. Is there anybody that you want to dedicate to? Maybe it's a memorial song for somebody that's passed. Maybe it's one of your friends, and going along with that, maybe there's a song with a special meaning, like your alma mater fight song. You know, whatever special song, make sure you're giving those to your musicians or your DJ, or adding those songs to your playlists as well. And finally, what songs do you not want to play? You know, when there's certain songs that make you cringe, make sure that you have those. Maybe you love having the chicken dance and the cha-cha slide. Maybe you don't. So make sure those are on your do not playlist. Maybe maybe you were married before and you have your first dance song from your previous marriage. Make sure those are not on, make sure those are on your do not playlist. So there you have it. Just a few wedding song checklists of things that you need to be thinking about when selecting your wedding songs. This is our first podcast and recording of 2023. And make sure you tune for our next episode. And make sure you check out our website, myweddingsongs.com, and sign up for our monthly newsletter of all the new wedding songs being released, and plus trending songs as well. Thanks for listening and have a great day.